welcome to another episode of Stupid Ideas from Bad Creative. I am Slim, joined by Sid. Hello, Sid.
How we doing?
This episode is all about 18 seconds. Sheamus versus Daniel Bryan, WrestleMania 28 in 2012. So, a little timeline for this series.
Mm-hmm.
We started in 2001. We went to 2015. Then we jumped back to 2003, I think it was, for Katie Vick.
Okay.
Then we did Jinder Mahal in 2017. Then the Nexus in 2010. Then episode 6 was 2018 with DX and Brothers of Destruction.
Mm.
And then we went back to 2006. Now we're back in 2012.
Alright.
So we're a bit all over the shop.
Yeah, and in amongst all that, we've touched on the 90s, we've touched on...
Yeah, if we really wanted to, we could go back to like the 50s. But we're not. Yeah, we're not.
Let's not.
There's no need to do that yet. But yeah, this episode is about Sheamus beating Daniel Bryan for the World Heavyweight Championship in 18 seconds at WrestleMania 28. So...
18 seconds.
18 seconds.
18 seconds.
Yep.
You can...
almost count that on your fingers.
pick what's wrong right there.
Yep. Also, it says Daniel Bryan, and it says Sheamus beating him in 18 seconds. Yeah, I think that's...
We're going to get into this.
Yeah. So, some backstory on how this happened. Bryan, I think we've touched on him enough that you can probably say he's probably one of the greatest wrestlers in history. Back in 2012, he was respected. He might not have had the popularity as such that he does now, but everybody knew he was great. And I mean, he connected with the crowd in some way because they were all chanting yes with him. So yeah, Sheamus was always good, I guess. Like, he obviously got better as time went on. And nowadays, he's great. He needs to win the Intercontinental Championship. He hasn't won the Intercontinental Championship. It's the only belt he hasn't won. He needs to win the belt.
Let's hope we can get there.
Hopefully. Oh, he will. He will. You know, Sheamus. He's great. Back then, not so much, but yeah. So, Bryan won the World Championship by cashing in his Money in the Bank on the Big Show, who had just beaten Mark Henry for the belt, but after the match, Henry attacked Show, knocking him out. Bryan cashed in, win.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So that was fine. A clean win, I guess. Like, it's as clean as it gets, as in he pinned him 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
But
he's already kind of unconscious.
He was sort of...
Wasn't much fun to fight.
Bryan would then go on to defend the title multiple times, retaining in... Like, he retained the belt. He never exactly won very much. Like, his first defence was against the Big Show, but it ended in DQ, with Bryan winning that match by DQ, after Mark Henry pushed him, because Bryan antagonised him to get himself disqualified. Well,
to get him disqualified, that way he would catch himself the win without it.
Big Show got disqualified because Henry attacked Bryan. So Bryan won the match by DQ, but Bryan caused it.
Yeah.
Next match, he retained over Big Show again, but this time because of a no contest. Because AJ Lee, which is Bryan's on-screen girlfriend at the time, was standing there at ringside like she normally does. She'll come into this later. But Big Show was running around the ring to get to Bryan, ran into her, caused no contest. So Bryan won. He'd even said that if you want the belt, you can have it. I don't care. You hurt my girlfriend. Blah blah blah. Bryan still kept the belt. Next title defense was against Mark Henry in a lumberjack match. Do you know what a lumberjack match is?
No.
What do you think it is? No.
Okay, just big bits of wood?
No.
No.
So, a lumberjack match is when you have a lot of people surrounding the ring so that when you get thrown out, they throw you back in. Usually, when you get thrown out, depending on who and where they are, it will normally they'll attack you. Well, if you're a good guy and you get thrown out around bad guys, they'll attack you, throw you back in. So it's sort of no DQ because they don't get disqualified for that, but there is like if you hit them with a chair, yeah. So it's weird, but yeah. So a lumberjack match is pretty much just people surround the ring. They had a lumberjack match at the horror show at Extreme Rules in 2020, I believe it was. I think that was the right show. But yeah, the lumberjacks in that match were zombies because Army of the Dead, you know that movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got Batista in it.
Yeah.
That was just coming out.
Okay.
So then they just had the zombies.
Army of the Dead, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I watched Army of Thieves not too long ago.
Oh yeah.
Really good.
Yeah. Yeah. So Army of the Dead was coming out. So then that was zombies. But yeah. So this match also ended in no contest when the lumberjacks started brawling with each other. Which, that just threw the match out. So Bryan sort of just left.
Quietly just walked out with his belt. I'm going to hold on to this.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. I'm just going to leave. Anyway, then we move on to the Royal Rumble, where Daniel Bryan defends in a triple threat steel cage match against the Big Show and Mark Henry. Mark Henry, I don't know if you know who he is. No? Also, do you know who Big Show is?
We've mentioned him a couple of times now, but yeah.
Yeah. Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, of course.
Triple H.
Yes.
AJ Lee.
Yes.
Okay.
Sort of.
I mentioned it.
Yeah.
Brie Bella.
No.
Nikki Bella.
No, we haven't done a lot of divas.
No. We could. Definitely could. So, yeah. We have a triple threat match. Mark Henry is regarded as the world's strongest man.
Mm-hmm.
He won the world's strongest man competition in 96 or 8 or something.
Yep. Yeah.
So he is legitimately a world's strongest man.
I may have seen that, yeah.
So Bryan wins this. He doesn't beat anyone to win it because there's a rule. You can win the match by escaping the cage.
Right.
Either by climbing over it and both feet touch the floor, or going through the door, both feet touching the floor. Or you win by pinfall or submission in the ring. So Bryan climbed over the cage and escaped.
Without anyone grabbing him.
Oh, Big Show had him, but he managed to get free and got to the floor, which gave him the win.
Yeah, right.
So he didn't pin anybody or
So at this point, he's held onto his belt for a number of matches.
I think October he won it, so it's now January, so about 3 months.
Yeah.
So
without actually really fighting anyone for it.
Yeah, so far he has pinned the Big Show to win it.
Pinned an unconscious Big Show.
Yeah. Then retained it by disqualification. Retained it by no contest. Retained it by no contest again.
Because the zombies started fighting.
And then retained it by climbing out of the cage.
Right, yeah.
So he hasn't pinned anybody to retain the belt yet.
No.
So later in the night, Sheamus wins the Royal Rumble. Mm-hmm. Because, of course. He needs to get to WrestleMania, otherwise we don't have this video. Then, so winning the Rumble means that he can pick if he wants to go for the WWE title or the World Heavyweight title. We move on to Elimination Chamber. Bryan's forced to defend inside of the chamber. We've got Wade Barrett and Big Show starting the match off. Okay, so in this match, I'll just go through all the participants. Barrett, Big Show, Cody Rhodes, Santino Marella, Great Khali, Daniel Bryan. Out of all of them, Big Show, sure, he's a credible threat to win this thing because it's the Big Show. He's sort of in a feud, so that makes sense. Daniel Bryan, obviously, credible threat. Wade Barrett, not so much because this is after the Nexus.
Right, yep.
Cody Rhodes, also not so much because this is before he came back from being in AEW. Like, if this took place 10 years later,
he'd be a credible threat, but
yeah.
at the time, was a nobody.
The great Carly, who...
Big, dumb.
Yeah, he's 7'3", did you know that? He's Indian. Can't do much, but yeah, that's that. And there's Santino Marella, who I've already touched on in a previous episode, is a comedy character who has a monobrow, is Italian, and has a freaking cobra. Yeah. So not so much of a threat. So your threats are Big Show, Daniel Bryan. And Daniel Bryan's not even a threat, given that we're talking about his threats.
Yeah.
So, you know, so the first two are Barrett and Show. Cody Rhodes then comes out every 4 minutes in this match. There's a new competitor. So yeah, Cody comes out, then Santino, then Carly, and that means that Bryan's coming out last.
Yeah. Which
is fine. As soon as Carly enters the match, he's speared by Big Show 1, 2, 3. He's out. Which is nice. Big Show then attacks Bryan before he's out of the pod, because the top of the pod is just chain link again, same as around and everything. So he just starts breaking into it. He actually breaks into the pod, gets in there with Bryan and starts banging him. Yeah. And then that's when his pod opens and they come out and whatnot. And shortly after that, Cody Rhodes and Wade Barrett, Cody gets the pin, eliminates Big Show.
But Big Show was meant to win this.
He's the only one that's not Daniel Bryan who can win this. So, yeah, Big Show is gone. The first two eliminated. 7'3" Great Khali, 7 foot tall Big Show. The Giants are gone. Then Cody pins Wade Barrett. So out goes Barrett. Then Santino pins Cody, which then leaves Santino and Daniel Bryan.
Santino's not winning this.
No.
In any universe.
Now, at this point, I'm just going to point out the fact that in this match, Daniel Bryan, right, didn't get rid of Great Khali, didn't get rid of Big Show, didn't get rid of Cody Rhodes or Wade Barrett.
He's got to pin the Italian clown, and that's it.
Yeah. So, then they do this big thing, right? Santino's Cobra, never been kicked out of. He hits it on Bryan.
Oh, we mentioned this.
Yeah. 1, 2, kick out. And then as Santino's sitting there going, what the hell? Nobody's kicked out. Daniel Bryan locks him in a label lock and he taps out. So now we know that... Oh, hang on. And then after the match, Sheamus comes out and attacks Bryan, which, you know, now he's saying, well, I'm going after Bryan at Mania. Mm-hmm. Also, Bryan spat on him on the SmackDown before this show, too. So, bit of retaliation as well. So, yeah, now if we look back at it, he pinned an unconscious Big Show, then did not beat anybody, didn't eliminate anybody in the chamber apart from Santino to win the match, which he did by submission, and now we're at WrestleMania. So, yeah.
To say we're ready to see him lose would be an understatement.
Well, no, we don't want him to lose at this point because he's not done anything.
Well, that's true, I guess.
Yeah.
Show us you deserve to hold on to it, or
yeah,
get the fuck out.
So, now, just before we talk about the WrestleMania stuff, I will point out, AJ Lee and Daniel Bryan did a thing when, before each match, AJ's also a wrestler, before each match, they would give each other good luck kisses. We get to WrestleMania. The first match on the card is the World Heavyweight Championship match, Bryan versus Sheamus. They're standing there waiting, ready to go. Bryan kisses AJ for good luck. The bell rings. He turns around from that kiss. Bro kick, 1, 2, 3. 18 seconds. Sheamus wins. That's it. Well done. Good luck, kiss. Turn into bad luck. There.
He held on to it for all that time, and I said I wanted to see him get beat, but that's so anticlimactic.
Yep.
Just so we finally get to see him actually fight someone, and 18 seconds is the best you can.
Yep.
One move.
After a good luck kiss, ended the match. Many people say that this is what started the Yes movement because of the burial of Daniel Bryan here. Now, he wasn't actually buried, and if he was, he got out of it. But, like, still...
Wow.
I get what they were going for.
Yeah.
The big, quick shock win. Had they pushed Bryan as maybe, I don't know, credible, he would have been sort of more accepted. If he had have actually pinned all these people and beaten them all, started the chamber from number 1 and went through the whole thing, and then gotten there, and then in 18 if you do that, then in 18 seconds everybody's going to go, well, like, what the hell? He's beaten all these people just to be beaten in 18 seconds.
Yeah, whereas with this, at least it's like, he was secretly shit this whole time, he was bullshitting his way through, and he's finally been caught out.
Yeah. But also, it's still only 18 seconds.
Yeah, we've still come in for a full-on... Did you say the opening match?
Opening match.
Yeah. The opening match of the night, and you've just...
The opening match of the night, with the winner of the Royal Rumble, and one of, if not the greatest wrestler in the world at that point in time, in a match, lasts for 18 seconds.
The amount of people that would have just stood up and left.
No, you can't stand up and leave on this show. We've got End of an Era with Triple H and Shawn Michaels and Undertaker and Hell in a Cell. We've got Rock versus Cena.
Oh, okay.
You can't get up and leave here.
I take it back. No one's leaving. Well, they're not losing money, I guess, but at least
yeah. It shows how much they cared about it. They just wanted to get to those big matches. Yeah, I mean, technically...
Set the crowd's expectations low.
Yeah, and just let it build. But, like, technically, this should have been the last match of the show. Because the winner of the Royal Rumble...
Thank God it wasn't.
Yeah. The winner of the Royal Rumble gets the main event shot at WrestleMania for a World Championship of their choosing. That's the opening match, it's not the main event, but yeah. So, how do I make this better?
So
easy. Just let them have a match. Full stop. Move on. How does this help WWE? That's what I wrote.
Right. Let them have more than an 18-second match.
Yeah.
But I feel like we can do a little bit better than that. We go back through the other stuff.
You just let Bryan actually win.
Yeah. That was what I was going for there. You don't have to break it all down, but just if he won some of it, had to put in some effort along the way. Personally, I would find that more interesting.
Yeah, you can just let him actually win some matches, not win them by fluke. But, yeah, I mean... Even against Sheamus, even if you did really want to take the belt off of him, just don't give them 20 minutes. Let Sheamus actually fight for it.
Yeah.
Like, Sheamus is Irish, and he always says how much he loves to fight. And Finlay also says how much he loves to fight.
Give him a decent role.
But, yeah. So, how does it help WWE to let them have a match? It actually doesn't.
No.
Because...
As I said before, no one was leaving that stadium.
Well, no, not because of that reason. Because, like, honestly, this is one of the things where it doesn't matter how you rebook it, it's always not going to benefit WWE in the long run, given that we can look at it now and go, the Yes Movement happened.
Okay.
This is what they say is the beginning of the Yes Movement. If you change that, you don't get it.
And then...
And, yeah, you lose out on all that shit. So, you know, anything that I change here, it's just going to change the Yes Movement, man. Yeah.
Which, yeah, you can't afford to do.
Yeah.
At the time, they couldn't predict the Yes Movement.
No. At the time, they couldn't do that. So, if you're looking at it from that point of view, it's a stupid idea.
Yeah.
But
knowing what we know now, they've lucked out and got away with it. Yeah.
They've managed to pull a WWE.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Like, I mean, yeah, so I've got here, like, short term, just keep Bryan looking strong and don't piss people off. Like, that's how letting them have a good match would go. But long term, it doesn't help because it's the incident that starts the Yes Movement. So, like, it's not going to help them at all. It's going to actually make things worse.
Detriment.
So, yeah. It's a bit of a weird one. Because usually I can just book myself out of it, but this time you actually have to book it.
Yeah.
You have to do what they did. There's no way around it, otherwise you're screwed in the future. So, yeah. That has been a really weird end to this episode. Is there anything you need to or want to say about it? Knowing what you know. Trying to book your way through it or something. I don't know. I tell you what, if you booked your way through this, I don't know how you did it, considering you know nothing about it.
No, I've got nothing to.
But yeah,
nothing to do that with. But it's just.
I mean, the only way that you can do it is if you're really like. Because you still need to start the Yes Movement somehow. So you need to really screw over Bryan later. Yeah. Which, you can't do. You can't.
And even then, you can't guarantee the Yes Movement forms without this.
Yeah, so. Yeah, well, that has been it for this episode then. Like, share, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, follow the Facebook, Twitter and Twitch. Links are in the description. Let me know what you thought of the episode in the comment section down below. Also, let me know if you have any ideas on how to book this without screwing up the Yes Movement too much in the comment section down below. And other than that, Sid, say goodbye.
Catch you guys later.
And good night.